Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and today I'm reviewing Oddland from Allplay. Oddland is kind of a terrain scoring, tile building, shared landscape game of point optimization. Yes, that's a lot of words. No, that didn't really help you understand how to play, but I will teach you how to play, and then of course I'll give you my thoughts as well. The basic idea is you're going to start off with these 6 scoring cards. Your first game, we do recommend, or they recommend, you use the letter A, but as you go ahead and play it more, you can flip cards over to the other side, which will give you more scoring variations. That will make more sense later. I'll come back to that. But you have these 6 cards that define how you score in different ways. So 6 different cards, and you do have 2 of these flora, meaning each player has 2 flora, but 1 of each of the others. And each of these scores in a different way, and your job is to basically draw a card, place a card, and then score better than the other players are going to, through the way that particular thing scores. So, on your turn, you play a map card. You're going to have map cards in your hand, you're going to pick one, and you're going to decide, how do I want to play it? Let's pick this pigehorse for a second. This pigehorse wants to get 2 points per that terrain type in its territory. So we want to get these terrain types over here. I might just go ahead and place this down here. Honestly, I'm not going to overthink it. It's probably not the best move, probably not the worst move. We're going to do that. And then we're going to take our pigehorse and we're going to put it down in the territory we just placed. You must place down your piece on the card you just placed in the terrain grid. And right now, assuming nothing else changed, at the end of the game, I would get 6 points. 1, 2, and 3, because it's 2 points per that type in my territory. And a territory is a full grouping of the same type. If I were to play this card here, this would be another territory in a separate area. If I place this down here, it's going to be adding to the size of my territory, which means, yes, you can make things larger as you go. The downside is other players can also shrink things. It is entirely legal for the next player to go ahead and take their card and place it down like so. You can't cover more than 2 of any one card. So for example, I can't go like here. I can't, do this in any way. Well, I said any one card. You can't cover more than 2, period. You can either place it adjacent, or you can cover 1, or you can cover 2, but that's what your options are. But the good news is if a player spends their entire time trying to tank me, they probably aren't helping themselves. But that's the basic arc. The basic arc is you play a card, you place your thing onto it, and then you draw a new map card so you can repeat the cycle until you've placed all 7 of your pieces. 1 for each of these types, plus 1 more for the flora. And in the base game, the flora primarily serve the base game. In the tile A's, if you use those scorings, the flora primarily serve as a delay mechanism, so you can have the right card at the right time in the right board state, although there are times where it's helpful to claim something so that other players cannot, as well as some of the other cards in the scoring might reference other pieces, in which case flora can be helpful there as well. Just to go over the base scoring of mechanisms so you can see get a general sense of things, we have the kangaroo over here, which is 4 points per species in a row or column, whichever is fewer. That's an example of one that wants the flora out because they're going to score for species in their row or column, yours or other players. The grizzly over here score 3 points per surrounding purple region. So getting a grizzly down over here would be great because they'd already be getting those three spots, plus possibly others as well as they get added. The owl scores 2 points per forest in all diagonal directions, counting its own space. So again, placing one down over here would only score the 2 points for this diagonal, but as you add more and more, you know where this is going. The begator scores 2 points per space in neighboring water territories. So you look at its entire territory. So for example, let's put this down over here. If we place the begator down on this spot over here, it's going to look at its entire territory and then look at all water spaces adjacent to its entire territory, and those are going to be worth 2 points each. The pigehorse we already clarified, 2 points for each of these in its own territory, and the flora does nothing. But again, tile variability, scoring variability is a big part of this game. If we flip the pigehorse to its opposing side, you get 3 points per one in its longest straight line, which is actually great over here because we already have it set up as a straight line, but it incentivizes you to build things out in different ways as you go. Also note, by the way, this was illegal. This is me just showing you how to score. Although you could connect things later. You could put things like over here and then have them connect later depending how you do it. So you are able to slowly worm your way into opposing players' territories, but you'd have to work a little harder to do so. That's the basic idea of how you play Oddland. Each player is going to have 7 turns because of the 7 pieces they have, although there is an expansion, you can check that out as well. Each of the cards is going to give you a different way you score. You're going to have your hands of cards, and you're trying to basically grow this terrain, which will get very, very large as you play through the game, because again, just do the math on it. If you have a 4-player game and everyone's placing down a card and 7 cards, that's going to be the 2 starting cards plus 28. That's going to be 30 cards. You will be dealing with a very large, very hard to score grid by the time you get to the end of it. And that's basically how you play Oddland, which means it's time for my little review of this small box all-play game. I like it. I like Oddland. I thought I would. I read the rules and I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly the kind of game I like. It's got scoring variability. Well, first of all, scoring criteria. So you have different things that score in different ways. You're trying to optimize those scorings, which means everything you do is like, oh, what do I score this round? You're being mindful of how other players are going to try to worm their way into your territory or stop you as you play. You have to be mindful as you build things. Are you setting yourself up to be immediately slowed down by another player who is also able to achieve their goals at the same time? Those things will happen. And then one of my favorite things in these kinds of games is you have scoring variability. Because of the way you can mix and match different combinations of cards, you will have a different puzzle. And again, that's before you even get to the expansion, which adds even more. So you just have a lot of variability to the way you're trying to look at the grid and build the grid out differently each time. These kinds of games, I do find there's two large, I guess, categories of them, which is some where you're working within your own little plot, everyone's doing their own thing, and some where you're working within a shared plot. This is very much the latter, which is a nice twist from, I think more often the games in this category that I do enjoy, you're often working on your own little puzzle. Having a shared puzzle is actually a nice little adjustment to this kind of game that I enjoy, but on a shared landscape instead. It's not going to be for everyone. There definitely is luck of the draw as far as, drawing the right cards, having other players cut you off in different ways. Sometimes you get stuck in situations where you're kind of all scoring for the same row or column, and that just ends up being a little bit less fun because you're like, I give myself 2 points and you 2 points as well. That I found that happens a lot in the diagonals with the 4 scoring. But either way, overall, I just enjoy this as a easy to teach, easy to play, high variability, scoring optimization little puzzle box from Oddland. I'm going to come in at a 4 out of 5. Lots of fun on this one. As far as other game recommendations, definitely check out Chomp, also from Allplay. I do like Oddland more. Chomp started off a little higher for me. As I played it more and more, I had specific critiques about it, some balance of certain cards. I think those problems are less likely to be here because of the nature of the shared landscape you have. You're all dealing with the same scoring cards each time. Chomp in particular, you can get certain scoring cards that were just too easy to get a whole chunk of points. Different problem for a different day, but I do like Chomp and still think it's worth checking out, just with some things to note. But outside of that, also check out, what was the other one I was going to say? Life in Reterra. Life in Reterra is another one to definitely check out. I think it has a similar aspect. That one you are working on your own little landscape, but it also has that scoring variability, that different aspect of juggling different things as you go through it. I definitely enjoyed playing through Life in Reterra. And then I guess I'll give you a bonus pick of Carcassonne, because I don't know, the way you can warm in on someone's territory by starting separately and then combining them, that just reminded me of Carcassonne as well. In any case, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you found this review helpful in some way, and until next time, I hope you have a good one.